looking for something special, Mike, or?
Yeah, you guys all ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All set and ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we left off at assessing and insurance fees, highways and streets. Highways and streets, we need to compile some more data. The insurance rates won't come in till later on in the year. Assessing though, Claudia has reached out, gotten some input back. Looks like we're looking for another $102,000 for the next 2 years. And I'm not sure that that covers all of the cost. It'll cover the contract cost, I believe, which they're holding the line on the contract cost that we established for 5 years. The variable was how much data and work on this end they've done for us outside of the contract. They've been taking care of the shortage of knowledge base when Gwen left. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we probably should be looking at about $50,000 this year under assessing, unless Claudia comes back and corrects those numbers for us and tells us that should change. But other than that, we were going to be looking at some of the other stuff,
Before you go on to something else, that 102, that's gonna include the reval, right, in 2020?
yeah, that should be, my
Enough to
understanding.
cover the reval,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's the
that we
thing.
haven't been
Right,
carrying.
and that's.
And that's because we lost Gwen, and we were hoping
Yeah.
that Cheryl would pick it up.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't pick it up. So that's the reason why we
Yeah.
weren't, Gwen actually did 3/4 of their work.
Yeah, Gwen did quite a bit.
So we have to,
No, I just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify if that was gonna cover the,
Yeah, that's essentially to cover the contract cost, I believe, to get us to where we need to be at the revalue.
yeah,
What isn't factored in there from the basic little blurb I got from her was any additional functions they do for us. So as the office gets up to speed, we may have some other expenses with them. And that is item 4152. So I guess I'm just gonna bounce on to the assessing line. And it looks like we had budgeted
3311.
3311. I've got, looks like mine's saying 31930. Yes.
Now, there was 1,081 encumbered from 2017 in the contract price.
Oh, okay.
That's a note I got anyway.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't pull that up.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I don't know where that leaves us for that line if we need other funding there.
well, we should bring it up to the 50 now. If
Yeah,
it's 31.
We need to at least have the 50 for the contract and then for the reval. And then I think we're gonna need some clarification as to any additional labor that gets put in yearly, if
Yeah.
there's an additional cost there or not. But I just figured I'd let you guys know that that was,
Yeah.
some of that puzzle has been solved. So hopefully the 50 a year basically gets us there. The other things we had to look at were capital outlay items, which is 4901. That was our next stuff coming up. So that should be the last page of the budget. Page 8. Capital outlay. I think that's vehicles and other, so not sure where I'm seeing that. Dave's got it down here as 4901.
We don't even have 49.
No, But we do have all the 4915, which is the transfer to capital reserve funds, which covers all the cruisers and fire trucks and such. So the police cruiser was an odd number because of a trustee of the trust funds little
Yeah.
thing they caught.
Yeah.
Did anybody recall if we were changing the transfer station request? Because everything else looks pretty much standard, 10,000 for the cruiser, 21 for the fire truck. And aquatic plants, I imagine that stays the same. Anybody have any?
No,
It's usually emblem tells you
yeah.
what they want. It's usually what they spent for the year. And
They just
yeah.
replace.
I don't know if they're-
That would be on her budget.
yeah, no, it's usually whatever the Conservation Commission spends.
Yeah, conservation, what are you looking at? Aquatic? Let me see, okay, what testing, summer.
Too many files, can't keep them all straight.
The budgeted 1,000 for Province Lake and we budgeted 4,000 for everything, and
40, yeah.
they went 70, 79. But I think that the 3,079, I believe, the overage would be what they'd want. I believe, is how
Okay, so it's just
they would come out of the fund, the aquatic,
what is that, 4212?
4612,
4612.
4611.
Oh yeah, 4611.2.
Yeah.
Budget was 4,000.
And they upped it to 4205,
That's their whole,
yeah.
yeah, but this is something different then. This is an aquatic plant capital reserve fund. You got their budget?
Right here.
I'm not sure I don't think I brought all those
Yeah, I had to,
budget
I
sheets.
couldn't get my thing closed, so I had to take some stuff out.
Yeah, I think that's a different item. Because their operating budget was 4,000. They spent what they spent, but there's an aquatic plant capital reserve fund. So I guess we'll have to probably come back to that and get some clarification on that.
I think it's what they,
They reimburse whatever they
yeah,
spend.
I believe that's how it goes, whatever they spend on milfoil or whatever they spend in it on, it's,
Hmm.
Yeah, positive, that's what it is.
So hopefully we can get that from Claudia tomorrow.
see on the year to date, it's got the reimbursable milfoil expense. So I don't know if that's what would come out of that, need to go into that aquatic plant fund.
Yeah, that,
Claudia would have to probably explain that.
that could be the case. Which is kind of, they're over budget.
Oh, yeah.
That was last month, so, okay. We'll get those two answered from her. Other than that, the police cruiser, 10,000 this year,
Yeah, stay with that.
21,000, John, fire trucks, you good with the cruiser and the fire truck?
Yeah.
The transfer station, were we upping that? Anybody have any?
I don't think we were up in it. We were gonna take money out of it to do
Right,
the pad down there,
yeah.
but,
So just stay with the 2?
yeah, do we know what the pad's gonna cost?
No, Dave hasn't got back to me, and I was just talking to Tom Lunan, who was gonna give some input on the requirements for anchoring. So I guess I pretty much need to get that from Tom. I'll have to call him and see if I can move him
Well,
along.
it'd make it at least the 2,000.
Okay. So we'll stay with the 2 for the moment. Again, I'll try to get to Tom. There is money in there anyway to do everything I think we need to do this coming year. So I don't think we'll hurt ourselves if we just get 2 this year. And that puts us down to 4916, transfer to the trust funds. So the bridge maintenance fund, I was figuring we weren't gonna put anything into that this year directly from taxation. We're gonna try and capture the Snow Road, the Elm Street
Yeah,
bridge money, right, John?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just trying to find that.
And then, from there, we had the library equipment expendable trust. We haven't heard from the library folks this year, but,
I'm sure we will.
yeah, at the moment, I don't have any plans to ask for anything. I'm sure you fellas probably don't either. It'll be up to them if they come forward with something. Municipal buildings expendable trust, expendable. Were we looking to change that 10,000?
Yeah, we went up it, I thought. Well, we're gonna replace what, oh, that's in the maintenance fund.
Yeah, the municipal buildings maintenance. Yeah, I guess we're probably gonna have to talk to Claudia about that too, to see how things shook out on all that. Because there's, I think we're gonna need to go into it to pay for like the septic system, stuff like that.
Well, that's what it's for. Oh, that's not what this is for.
No, but to replace what came out, right?
Yeah, but we had to, yeah, you replaced what out, but we were gonna up it because we're finding out that it costs 20 grand just to operate, and we put 40 in there, so that leaves us with just 20 in case something happens to the building. Roof caves in or something, you only have 20 grand. I thought we were gonna pick that up to,
well, we budget a line item for
Yeah, I think we're
municipal buildings.
mixing the two. Municipal buildings is 4194 on the
Yeah.
first
yeah,
We budgeted
third
35,
page. Yes.
plus 12 for electricity. And
Looks like that went over.
heat.
yeah, but that comes out of a different thing.
The total municipal buildings
Yeah.
was 69.5. And we're over 19,000 over budget. So we ought to at least, we ought to at least up it to 20, because we're gonna be taking out almost that much. Cover the overage. At least for this 1 year, what do you think?
Well, I guess yeah, if we're already over on our operating budget for municipal buildings, and we've got some big items,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
say-
the septic, probably put that over.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. And plus this building too.
Yeah,
2916 municipal building.
That's the number we should get from Claudia.
Right. We put
What number, what actually got taken out of it and what we have to put in, and if we have to up it a little bit, we might have to up it a little bit.
Exactly.
but go at least 20. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what came out. And get that replaced. And since, even if 15 came out, we were running at about 45.
Yeah. And I thought we were gonna bring it up to 50.
Right, so that would be the thing, is to bring it up to 50, as I believe we've discussed. Alright. So, police safety, municipal electronics, equipment, we gonna fund that again for another 25? Is that as a long-range goal?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. You with that, John?
Yeah, I'm just looking. Mhm.
I'm gonna continue to put a couple grand in the police safety gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's necessary. Professional services, I don't think we're going to be looking to put that into a trust fund. We discussed about that, about
Put a line.
Bottom
Yeah.
line item.
add it, double our line item.
Yeah.
Yeah, work it that way. We're not asking anything for emergency repairs. I don't even think that got established right last year. Got shot down. So the town hall expandable trust, again, I don't think we want to be putting anything in there because of the work that, Chuck Fuller's been working on to see what our needs are. We're probably,
You can consider putting another amount in like you've done in the past, because whatever you put in there, we're gonna use.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be going back to the well in future years, because there's not gonna be enough,
Yeah.
even with the grants.
right, well, I didn't know if we were gonna have any warrant article proposal. I guess that was my thing. Because if we're going for a warrant article for things,
Yeah.
people aren't gonna probably wanna put money
No,
into
that makes sense.
So since we just happen to be here,
You wanna chew on that?
You know, it's.
Well, my
also-
guess is that there would be probably a warrant article discussion. We're trying to get everything in by mid-December for some draft, phase one proposal for work and some estimated numbers around the work.
yeah.
And I don't have any clue what that number's gonna be at this point, but I know it's gonna be in excess of what we've got in that fund right now. So even if we get a match
But I mean, this is also maintenance down the road.
to the building.
Yeah.
Well, we can keep that in, I guess, and then as things evolve, we could decide to omit this to,
That was gonna be where I was gonna ask a question. So if we kept it in there now, but we were able to get a warrant article that did what we needed to do for next year,
right,
then could we not,
right,
we could say we don't need it
we won't, yeah.
Yeah, we don't need that.
if we get it.
It's a kind of a double dipping kind of mentality going on, and
Yep.
and,
Don't
yeah,
do that.
we'll give and take, okay.
And what were we doing with bridge maintenance?
Bridge maintenance, we were just going to take the, funds that were lapsing.
Oh, I
From
thought that was
Elm
going into the emergency, the one down there, the zero.
Oh, no,
Oh,
that's,
okay.
roads and bridges emergency repair. I think that was the thing that Henry had put together as a warrant article that didn't get accepted last year.
Yeah,
I believe that's what that was.
okay.
Yeah, that was when Henry wanted to put that in, when he wanted to, like washouts,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, in case we got a bad rain and we didn't have the money in there, that was just like a fund just for that. And that got shut down.
yeah, because of what it cost us there for FEMA.
Yeah, and that there is a quasi account, I guess, to that
Yeah.
application could be applied for that. Okay, so we've got some questions for Claudia out of that, part of it.
And the library, we're just skipping over that. Right?
Yeah, they'll be in and see what they ask for. So we touched on that. Assessing, again, we touched on that. I got some additional information today, John, from Chris Fournier at HEB Engineering, where they've kind of changed some of the numbers that they had sent out the other week. And he has a couple of thoughts. So one of the things they're looking at is, things are basically three parts. One is the Snow Road Bridge has got more deterioration than previously thought. Those culverts have rotted up considerably higher than we had hoped. So the number moved on that to 65,300. That's what they want to put out for a bid. That is not inclusive of any on-site engineering that would be involved. The other thing that he has is the expansion joint with the steel and everything. He had sent us a quote of essentially $97,000, but they had something that they found was omitted. So the new price he's saying is $104,420. And again, that would not have any engineering involved in it for on-site. So those two numbers bring us up to $179,720. So at $179,720, Chris said they were anticipating combined engineering cost for both projects to be $20,000. So, oh, did I say 79? I meant 69, so my bad. 169,720. So we'd be essentially at $190,000. He also has a third item in there, which is the deck repair at $98,202, which by itself would incur $20,000 worth of engineering fees. So we'll call that $118,000. There's no way we can afford all of those at this point in time. But Chris suggested that we can put this out as a warrant article on the 15th of this month and get bids. And he can put this, the third part as an additional item that we can do away with if we want, but get bids on that deck to see what they come in at. So if we got a really good price on all three, we could try and capture it by going and asking for the money at the town meeting, or well, through a warrant article. The timing is such that we would be able to still put a warrant article out for the whole thing, or whatever we get back for bid prices. So if we get competitive bid prices and they come back and they lower this 190, say, we still get to write the warrant article based on what the received bids would be, the prices in. So we've got some flexibility. So I think we should put it out to bid. I think realistically, we could be doing Snow Road and Elm Street, the phase one, the expansion joint, the steel and concrete repair. It's caused our problem in the first place, and the abutment, fixing that. We have got money in the general fund that's, I believe it's $561,000 now. The impact was less than we had originally thought. Dave and I had done some number crunching and looking at it, and it was about $404,000 originally, but there was an overlay applied. So we've got $561,000. We can take essentially about $160,000 out of that general fund and apply it and raise the rest from taxation, and still have
But what does that leave us in the
10%.
general fund? Keeps us
10%.
very low.
No, it keeps us at 10%, I believe. We've got the MS 5 here and the MS 737 in one of these files that I keep shuffling around. And that was an issue that Dave Strauss and I had discussed as to what our options were.
I mean, that
With our
doesn't even
comfort
give, that doesn't
level.
even give you 2 school payments. What's left over?
Well, we would have been at the high end and been looking to pay things down.
It doesn't matter what we were, it's where we are right now.
Mm.
That's past tense.
Yeah, well, that's where we are is at 561, I believe, and the available funds to still keep 10% in is pretty much what I was looking to target, to keep 10% in. Now it's up to you guys what you're comfortable with.
So that would leave us, what would we have to bring up with taxation?
Essentially $30,000.
Well, I'm good with that, but I'm just saying that we should, I want to make sure Claudia's good with that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not, $30,000 is okay
I
to raise the
did,
taxation, but I don't want to see the town cut short like it has been in previous years. I mean, they worked so hard to get the general fund up, and things happen. Things happen. People don't, pay taxes or whatever. I mean,
Exactly.
and this is years ago. I mean, years ago, the state was going to take the town over because we owed 2 2 payments and plus a third too. So we owed 3.
that was when you got on the.
Yeah, no
it
kidding.
was
Yeah.
18, 19 years ago.
Yeah.
No, but I appreciate your position on that, and I do understand that.
No, I know that's past tense, but I'm just saying.
Well,
Well, it could happen again.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The economy will slow down again in the future.
I'm all for fixing that. I mean, that's great. 30,000 is really, it's 30,000. Don't get me wrong, but I just want to make sure that the town isn't cut short.
Well, I ran the numbers by Claudia when they came in to the office a week or so ago, and she felt that was a reasonable.
Oh, well, there you go. That's the answer. That's what I was asking.
Yeah,
What she
that's-
thought.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm concerned. I'm worried about how comfortable she is.
John, I'm keeping the seat warm for 3 years. She's running the place. It's no illusions here. Yeah, $450,000 on last year's fund balance would have equated to 10%.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's changed a little. The numbers have shifted a little, but that was there again. I want to put it out there and have the discussion when Claudia gets back.
No, if Claudia said it's okay, if
Well-
she's comfortable with it, that's fine.
Well, that's what she said to me,
Okay,
but that's
well,
not,
that's
that's
fine
not
with me
what she, it's not what she said to us collectively.
Oh,
So
oh,
I'm
yeah.
not going out on that limb.
Well, I have a problem draining it right down to the bare minimum.
Right. And that's what we're trying to avoid is just that. And keeping 10% in there, I think is not the bare minimum. But again, I would say we should continue this conversation again with
Claudia.
Claudia.
Yeah, absolutely,
To-
yeah.
to look
But
at
like I said, but I'm good with it as long as we're not cutting our throats too short.
Yeah, and
That's my hope, that's where I am.
And so there again, I think the conversation picks up again with
Yeah,
Claudia to
sure.
verify that that's an accurate amount to come out of that general fund. It doesn't take away from the idea that we're probably looking at about $190,000 to do Snow Road and fix the damage that's. My analogy is Elm Street, there's a leaky roof, you know,
Yeah.
that damage isn't gonna stop unless we fix some, you know, part of it. We can't fix everything.
No,
with the debt.
I understand, yeah.
So I was figuring that we should put out a warrant, a request for proposal that allows us time to tailor make our warrant.
We can always say no.
To
Yeah.
it. Right.
We can always say no, but at least we'll have a hard figure.
Right, well, that's
You
the
know.
thing.
I mean,
Well,
we'll have a hard figure, yeah.
we'll have
I
a
say
hard
let's go.
figure.
I don't know how you guys feel, but I say go for it. I mean, we could always say no.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I wanted, by bringing this up, I needed to establish that we wanna put the RFP out and let Chris, you know, word it and get those numbers. In the meantime, we essentially should have the funds to do this, because raising 30 from taxation isn't horrible, especially we've got some areas where I'm looking to offset that by not doing some of our routine stuff. We'll get that money back. And perhaps we can even trim some of that. But I wanted to get that on the table so we can get the RFP out and then follow up with Claudia on the funding aspect of this. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go from a conversation I
Yeah,
had
let's
with
get,
her.
you know, get the prices, so, you
Yeah.
know, we'll know what we're looking at.
Okay,
Yeah.
And I'm hoping probably that it comes in under what they estimate.
well, that's what the spirit of competition hopefully brings to the table for us. So I just figured I wanted to give you the numbers because nobody was in the office today, so the email wouldn't have been received and communicated to us, but I get CC'd from Chris when he sends them. So that was the new updated numbers, and that was part of what we were gonna be talking about tonight was the bridges, because that was
Oh, I have my notes at the transfer station, just to back up on the transfer station.
nice.
I think we were gonna add 2K because of that jet pump.
Ah,
The 2K to it because of the jet pump, we
okay,
were gonna put in there.
Not an additional 2K, just the two that we've been putting in.
Well, we thought 2K,
Because,
because it's
we've been
been,
putting 2,000 in it, so.
but that would leave us with nothing if the pump cost us $2,000.
Well, there's some in there, right?
the 16,000 I think
Yeah.
was in the,
In the Capital reserve.
Okay, so we're just gonna put the two,
Yeah,
I have 2K for the jet
yeah.
pump.
oh, okay. So, transfer station. Yeah, we have 16,301 supposedly, and that should hopefully take care of our pad and the roof. 2K for the pump,
Yeah, pump shouldn't be that much.
and then next year we'll probably need to look into back funding that if we
Mm-hmm.
realize it by actually using the funds. Okay, so we stay with that. 2,000. So those were the big ticket items that we were looking to clarify. I know that we had, on highways and streets, as we go down to that, we had decided to do away with the roadside mowing until we get a better handle on how we want to approach that. 4312.
Well, I wouldn't do that because Tim is supposed to be looking into that.
Oh, yeah, the rental.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But Tim is supposed to be looking into that. I mean, tree trimming, yeah, we'll put a hold on that until we get a better handle on what we're doing with that.
Okay, you're gonna pursue roadside mowing?
Well, I think that's important.
Yeah, I think Tim was looking in to see what it would cost to rent
Right,
something.
right.
Yeah.
I was looking to try and scrounge up some funds from other areas to offset this bridge.
Well, well, we can do the trimming, roadside tree trimming, because we gotta we gotta come up with a plan with
Well,
that.
we changed it from mowing to roadside clearing, so we could use it for mowing or brush.
Okay.
And we were gonna do it 15,000. Is what I got written down.
Okay. And then I had 11,000 for the crack sealing.
Yep.
We were keeping everything else, the contractor, signs and equipment the same. Calcium chloride, we were keeping the same. Materials the same. Scratching the trimming. Road reconstruction, or, we should probably change the way that's listed out, 2312-1A, under 2312 highways and streets. Because, as you pointed out earlier this year, John, some of that is restrictive. Instead of just having the paved road resurfacing, well, I guess it does have reconstruction in it. We want to make sure that that's flexible enough because we're going to need to do engineering, dirt work, purchasing culverts, shouldering, tying in driveways after the fact, all of it. So we might just want to, make sure the title is just road reconstruction or something like that, where it's all encompassing. I'm not sure what we.
We can, let me see what it was.
But I think there was a lot of cost in this 210. There was a lot of cost outside the 210 essentially. And I think to put a realistic number on it for the budget committee and for people to go vote on the warrant article this year, it should include all those other things. I'm thinking, I had some notes that were probably about $235,000 to do 1.25 miles with all those other things included.
Yeah.
So we were shortening it up. We weren't going 9,000 feet.
93, I say shorten it up 1,000 each year.
But I don't know that you can do more than about 1.25 miles.
Well, this first year was 1.75 miles.
Right. And then
But we had the SB 38 money to offset that.
exactly, you had about $70,000 there. And I think we spent somewhere about 80, there was another 8, 4, 6. I tallied up some rough numbers that came out to be 317. And I haven't gone to the office to try to compile everything that got spent exactly. But that right there is essentially what we ballpark spent on this 1.75 miles. So it wasn't 210. And now when we go into this next section, we're going to get to a point where after 1.25 miles, I think we might be looking at having the reclaim situation, have to put something else, like concrete or crushed stone ground in, because the base is a little different up that hill.
It was 1.25 miles. Does that get us to Ryfield?
That gets us,
No,
beyond Ryfield.
Beyond Ryfield.
It's
Beyond
below
Ryfield.
West Range.
Yeah,
Nope.
You remember one day?
Remember that hill that's
Yeah.
going up there, he said he's gonna need a lot of dirt work?
yeah,
Right there.
Yeah,
It's
but-
right before West Range.
It's before, yeah. Remember the, Steve Zalewski popped by, we were all
Yeah.
there, and there was that one culvert there,
Yeah.
that steel one.
yeah.
Gets us to that one.
Okay.
And we can get that culvert and then leave the other ones up the hill. And then I figure that next section is probably gonna need more.
And that would give us time to look at other options. You know, how are these towns doing with the cement injection?
Mm.
You know, rather than, you know, put material in and how is this cement thing working? I think they're doing, I'm gonna call Frank.
They're doing it in Wolfboro.
Yeah, on North Line Road. I'm almost certain that's what they're doing.
They did it on a couple of roads already. Was it Trotting
Track Road.
Track, and I think there was another one.
Well, they're up on North Wolfboro Road.
Yeah, yeah, North Wolf, that's what, North Line, go
Yeah.
North Wolf.
So
Yeah.
I've got Scott Pike's number. He's the DPW manager over there now. And I was gonna give him a shout too to see what his take on it was.
I'm almost certain they're doing the concrete, but that would give us a year,
Yeah. So
essentially, to look at it. And maybe that's the way we want to go.
Yeah,
Maybe-
see how it held up.
Yeah, see how it holds up and,
Yeah.
you know, instead of going
because
all the way.
I crunch numbers. Depending on how you want to play with your numbers, you can get they'll move.
Yeah.
So what I was really looking at is probably about 240,000, 235,000. If I trim things down and get best case scenarios, I'm looking at about 214. But I would think that somewhere about 240 is realistic to 1.25 miles when you've got shouldering to do. There's, I believe there's at least 8 culverts in there. I think 3 of them are probably gonna take wetland permits.
Yeah, that first one on the corner, that's gonna be expensive.
Two of them definitely. The third one, probably. So, again, we did a lot more culverts, but now we're half as many culverts, but they're gonna be a little more involved with, wetland and stuff, so you're gonna see the same kind of thing, I think. So I was factoring in about $50,000 on the dirt work, 8,500 on culvert costs because we spent over 8,000 for the ones we did. Engineering price, Mark Lucy's out of the country right now, but I'm figuring we're gonna be, in the $10,000 area. And then you figure out the shouldering and maintaining the culverts between the point in time when they get, resurfaced. There's some money there attaching to driveways. But shouldering, that's gonna be up there probably close to 20,000, hopefully somewhere under. And then you get your paving and grinding costs, which were probably gonna be somewhere around 150. But, like I said, we could play with the numbers, come back and do that
Well,
again.
the
but-
reclaim 9,300 feet is 39,900, 40 grand to reclaim.
And pave though, right? So, well, that was,
No, that's just reclaim.
right, and then you.
2 inches of base on that 9,300 feet is 158,720. So that whole total year, I'm sorry, wait a second, sorry. Year two is the same. So 2 inches of base pavement is 158,720. Total year is 198,410.60.
Okay. Well, we paid 194 and change for
Correct.
for
And year
everything.
2 is a ditto for year 1, but if costs go up, you gotta,
Well, that was the thing. Oil went up, so we got the
And that's
gentleman.
for the 9,000 feet, which.
93, yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
we're not doing, so.
Yeah, and the prices did go up.
Yeah.
Oil and fuel, that calculus is done monthly, so, like I said, you know, if I divide that number by 175 times 1.25, you get 142, plus the prices have gone up, so like I said, it's about 150 to do the grinding and resurfacing for 1.25 miles. If your dirt work is 50,000, you're at 200. Engineering, tying in driveways, culvert costs.
Well, the engineering would come out of the line, the engineering line.
Well, see, this is the thing. This is where it gets a little tricky. You don't leave yourself any professional services line for other things. And we have 3 culverts failing in town that are granted smaller culverts, but you know, you've got PV Brook on Pine River that's been shored up with chunks of iron and stuff for a while. You've got the out on the swamp, Wilkinson Swamp. You know, not that we'd be able to do anything with that, say, for that money, but we might need to have engineering costs to.
So why
Put a
why
plan.
can't we have the engineering line? Because that's what it's for.
Well, we could. I was anticipating going
Yeah,
to 10.
I'd add it into the
The
cost
project.
Cost of the project.
That's what I was looking to do. That way we'd have an operating line that maybe the budget committee might
I
say,
think
okay,
we
here's.
took the engineer this year out of the
Right.
cost of the,
We,
yeah, the project.
we grabbed money from various places to make it work. And that was kind of the point, is we need the line item to keep the next project being developed so that we can bring it to the people with an RFP or locked in price for the planning stage. I think for the part in this reconstruction
I agree
process,
with Mike on this, John.
ball everything in.
Keep that professional line so that, you know, while we're doing this project, we can pay an engineer to be looking at the next project.
Right, and that's what has been missing from the
Yeah.
process. And so I would just be trying to incorporate on this whole project that we're doing on Green Mountain, a number that really covers the whole project. That's the way I was looking to sell it. I mean, that doesn't.
And that'd be more transparent to the townspeople if they say, you know, if we ask for 250,000, say.
Right,
Yeah, but that's gonna include everything. There shouldn't be any hidden fees in there.
right. Because, you know, I think that caught us off guard this year, that there were extraneous costs involved in this project that really, you know, when it was 210, but it really wasn't 210 because there were other things. I think if we capture everything in that umbrella of this is the project.
Well, I mean, the 210, that was just for the reclaim paving, but, I mean, we knew there was other costs, but we had the money for
Yeah,
it,
we
for
had
the
the
SB
SB
30
money.
out,
Right.
aid money, so. But this year we don't, so you gotta kind of be truthful with the townspeople.
Oh, yeah, no.
You know, this is what we want.
I'm all for
It's
that.
Gonna cover everything.
Like I said, I was just kind of did some quick numbers on it and was getting to the point where I thought, you know, 240 might be a realistic number to be looking at. But again, we're a little ways away from having to put those warrant articles together.
Well, we should try to,
Should have kind of an idea. of
yeah,
what
a
we
graph.
want, so.
And
But it may, you know, maybe we should get Bob out there to look and see what he thinks.
Well,
An idea of what.
let me just explain to you about the Green Mountain Road project with Bob.
No, I mean, I'm just get an idea of, you know, can we do it for what we're figuring?
Yeah, he said 65 grand, the earthwork for Green Mountain Road. 900 to 1,000 feet of ditching, 4 culverts. Now, how many did we do?
4 culverts?
That's what it's right here. This is in his bid. 4 culvert replaces 1 possible review by engineer for sizing. 1 possible new culvert at 123 Green Mountain Road. General preparation for the road for paving. So proposed budgeting for shoulder work, 2018 Townhouse Road 3.5 miles by 2, high side 5 miles. I mean, here again, these were not really realistic.
Well, he did give us some other numbers though. when we
Yeah,
gave
because
him,
I rode with him one day and we
Well, that's
were
what I have.
replacing,
This is what I have right here.
oh, the,
Oh, he was gonna rent the shoulder machine from Coleman, which is okay, you know, hey, not everybody has one. So, I mean, he said he could do the earthwork for 65. But that's what four culverts.
Well,
no, I don't think it was full, that must be a misprint or something, because, I mean, we did 50.
yeah,
Oh, I know.
and
Yeah.
when I approached Bob to get us kind of where are we with the culverts thing when we were closer to the project taking off, he gave me a price that, well, we all got it. It was
Yeah, it was handwritten.
yeah,
Yeah.
little sheet. It was 12. It was 12
that was-
culverts.
The road stuff is what I took out of my
Yeah,
case.
I know. You just, so it
I figured Green Mountain Road's done, so I can take that out.
and those numbers, you know, we added 3 culverts, and I'm not saying that they weren't spot on, but it did end up, you know, costing a little bit more, or maybe close to what Bob said.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we got an engineer involved. He did tell us that if you get an engineer involved, it's gonna cost more.
And I'm not fully appreciative of why that would cost more outside of the engineering cost. I mean, you know, the job has to be done this way, the job has to be done, whether you're,
Yeah, I'm not.
somebody's looking over your shoulder or
I'm not
not,
too-
you got.
I'm not too
But
hip
there
on
was
that
one
either.
culvert that Mark wanted extended, which, you know,
Right, right.
we didn't figure
And
on
we
it.
had to
And
add-
Bob probably didn't figure
No.
on it either.
Yeah.
so.
And we didn't have that extra culvert anyway, so we couldn't get the municipal rate for
Right.
the culvert, so we paid triple probably.
Yeah, well, we bought a few after the fact. It cost us $2,500
Yeah.
versus the $5,600.
So when we order culverts, we know even if we don't need them,
I
at
was
least
gonna,
order $5,000.
I was gonna talk to you guys about that.
Yeah, I
this
would
year. I think
definitely.
I think we should try to buy more in bulk.
Extra.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of the
Every year,
smaller
we're gonna use
sizes, we're gonna use them, and we have dirt roads, and, I
Yeah.
mean, there's one on
I'm
Hobbs
all for
Road
that.
I'll
I
bring
mean,
up tomorrow.
Why
it's
pay triple
failing.
for a culvert,
yeah.
you know?
Well, we saved about 45% with state pricing on that.
Yeah, the first time, but,
Yeah, right, the
Yeah,
first
first
time.
time. The second time we gave it back.
yeah.
So, yeah, again, I think realistic numbers might be closer to 240 for what we're looking to do. We can certainly ask people, you know, to look at things. Certain, fine, you know, that's, I wouldn't discourage that at all. I would say that one of the things we talked about earlier on was trying to continue to build up funds in the municipal bridge account, but it looks like there's been a little bit of a hold on some of that because I believe they overbooked the number of bridges by a significant amount between Nancy Mayville leaving and Mr. Wilkie taking over. I don't know what took place, have no real good information on it, except that they're now thinking instead of us getting shortened up, it's further out. Hopefully the legislators but I see Ed Comeau over there, so please reach out to your state representatives and get bridges funded, okay? And we need that. As well as I think a lot more towns have come to the realization of that's the way to go, so a lot more towns are putting in for this aid. So anyway, we're looking to capture the the Snow Road funds for reconstruction that are lapsing and put those in to the bridge fund. What I had originally talked to you guys about was putting an additional 50,000 in. I think this year we should forego that 50,000 and let that go towards our road projects and bridges and stuff that we're undertaking, because I know that Dave Strauss from the budget committee was tallying up numbers and he's looking for us to kind of cut a few places, and that seems like an obvious one to me because time is on our side, unfortunately, in a way, on this one. Figure it as you will. So yeah, but we're gonna need to actually start prepping warrant articles. So that's one that would I think we can skim 50 grand there.
Well, we're gonna move 145,000 from the town-owned bridges, right?
Right, on lapsing
Yeah.
funds.
To the Elm Street.
From Snow Road to, that'll go into the bridge
Town-owned
reconstruction. Yeah, right. Because that's total reconstruction, replacement.
That's Snow Road, and then Elm Street is 125K. We're gonna move to town-owned maintenance bridge fund.
That actually is not, that's what we were thinking we were gonna need to pay for this first phase, 125.
Oh, I'm sorry, 27,000, sorry.
27, yeah, and we'll put that in the the maintenance,
Yeah.
Bridge fund,
because we're not doing bridge, we're not gonna fund bridge maintenance taxation this
Yeah.
year, we'll shift that money.
yeah.
And the benefit of doing that would be if we get into this project and we need to have a few more bucks, at least we'd have it if the Snow Road and Elm Street, because those are maintenance issues. So we'll see what our bid comes back
Yeah,
as. And hopefully we should be under the 190 if all goes well in the world with engineering. That's the realities of life. Do we want to, since that's really kind of all I wanted to get together with you to do is capitalize on some of those key points for clarification out of the office and to make sure Mr. Fournier can put that RFP out, that we're all good with that, and
Yeah.
understand where that's
Yeah.
going.
At least we'll know what we're talking about instead of guesstimating.
Yeah, and there again, it gives us a lot of time to be flexible. We would probably even have enough time to adjust our RFP if we don't like what we receive
Yeah.
back and put it back
I
out.
think we gotta put it out. We
So-
should put it out and get a concrete number. I mean,
Yeah.
Stevens Road, we never had a concrete number,
And then,
so we put it out.
of course, it's all contingent on, whether the townspeople vote for it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
That
You
makes
look at-
them
you look at Snow Road and that, I mean, we really never had a concrete number. Actually, we should have taken digging doors at 41,940 instead of 86.
You want to do a quick run-through on the operating budget? Just go straight from the first page and see if we're good with the numbers that have been allocated and make any changes if necessary.
I don't have that sheet.
What's that?
I don't have that sheet that we've already allocated this year. I don't think.
Well, you've got a copy of the,
Might be in the.
What number is that?
well, just a copy of the operating budget. Any
What is it?
copy ought to do.
4130?
Yeah, yeah. Starting with the executive and go down.
Yeah.
I was just gonna go down the run and tally if you've got do you have an operating?
I have a thing right here.
Well, they had it.
I have it right here.
Well, what's, oh, no, I didn't even mean that. I meant the whole budget versus actual type thing.
Oh,
And just
Yep.
because-
1030?
Yeah,
I thought you were looking for what we'd already decided to spend.
no, I just was figuring we'd go down and see if everything still lines up, because we know all right, well, yeah, like computer network, we were good with the 6,000,
Mhm.
okay? The, the professional services, we were moving to 10,
Yep.
and using that as an operating budget item. Mileage, I think we adjusted that up.
500?
500. Office equipment and supplies,
Same.
staying at 4.
4.
Okay.
Postage went up to 12.
Doing to 12. I'm glad you got your notes, John. That's great.
Salary moderator stayed the same.
Yeah, we stay the same,
Yeah.
and the others are in the budget, so we won't even get into those others. Trustee of trust funds is all,
Yeah.
so web entry,
It's the same.
so everything's been taken care of to that point.
Telephone is the same, 1,400.
Town meeting.
Town
expense.
meeting is 500. Town report stayed the same, 15.
All right, workshops and
Workshops
seminars.
went up
Yeah, I think that's
to
all. in the-
1,700.
is it- Okay, I figured it would show up in the other budget
And the-
items.
And the total was 127,700
Yep, that's right.
with a 1307 increase.
Okay, then we've got advertising for election registrations.
Oh, hold on.
That'll show up in the, those budget sheets
Yeah.
anyway, so I think we can skim past that for what we're doing here.
What number next?
4140.
41, 46. Oh, man, I
I
gotta
mean,
find it.
I wouldn't even, John, I think we can skip right on that because that's all Deanna's stuff and we've already done that on the sheets.
Yeah,
So I'm really looking for our stuff that we have to concern ourselves with. So 4141 we don't need. Financial administration, which is 4150, that would be us. So I'm assuming that you've got those in there.
4150, yep, financial administration.
Auditors, well, the dues at $40, I'll skip right past that, but we've got $3,500 on auditors this year instead of $1. Did you find your sheet?
4150,
Yep, 4150 is what we're looking for.
tax collector,
Um,
that's 4150 is what I got here.
I got 4150 as financial administration. It
Yeah,
has
tax
49.
collector.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know how the auditors ended up in the tax collector, but that's where it was.
okay,
Everything else we went through with the,
yep. So then
Yeah.
we'll skip on that because that's all in hers. 4150 is budget committee.
51 is budget.
So 4152 is assessing, which we're talking to Claudia about, and we're probably in the $50,000 range once we get through that. And then we had equipment, supplies, postage, software, tax map maintenance. I don't know that any of those moved. And that wasn't listed as line items under assessing, so I guess that's 2152. It's all assessing. We didn't have that in our assessing. As far as the budget line items and everything.
What, assessing?
Yeah,
3,500.
yeah, but there's other stuff in there that doesn't seem to be jumping off the, out of my memory. There's equipment, supplies, postage, software support, tax map maintenance, all under assessing that I do not have any recollection of having that on there, the budget sheet. I think I got those budget sheets with me.
40, what is it, 4150?
4152 is the final assessing number.
Yeah, it's on there, but we never went over it.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we need to revisit.
We were waiting for the contract.
Okay. All right, so then, that again, we'll wait for that one with Claudia when she gives us the hard number.
Yeah,
Okay. Then we'll move past that one. Legal, we already got that, we're going 30, which is a change from last year, $5,000. Payroll expenses, we already did those, so that's all done. Planning, zoning, that's all done through the boards. Zoning officer, all that's done. So that brought us down to municipal buildings, where we want to achieve building maintenance supplies. We want to bring that up to 45. And all the electricity seems to be close for those. Heating is still close. That's gonna go over, but I guess maybe we've got a full load of pellets, so I think there was an offset.
Yeah, that's why I went over, because they got a whole silo full.
Okay. Municipal buildings, we're still on track.
Cemeteries.
Cemetery, staying with the 25, Lenny?
Yeah,
Okay. And all the other insurances and stuff are still
Yeah.
outstanding, information-wise. So we're down at advertising and dues, which $41.97. I don't see, unless Claudia tells us that she needs something there. I'll put that into ask. Public safety, police, all that we've gone through with Tim. Software, uniforms, all that, vehicle maintenance. That brings us down to the fire department, which we went through with Randy. Forest fire, emergency management, we went through that with those gentlemen. Public safety. So we're just down to where we left off with our,
highways and streets.
highways and streets. So we've collecting a little more data on that. We had our calcium stayed the same. All the materials were staying the same. Crack sealing was moved upwards. Roadside clearing, we got the 15K for that.
What do we put, crack sealing up to 15?
Crack sealing was 11, roadside clearing was 15.
Okay.
Winter materials and contract, we were all set with that. Brought us down to bridges, which is 4313, we're skipping over, that was a one-time item. Street lighting, we moved that up to 75.5, I believe, 77.5 from 7,500. And all the solid waste is under a sheet, it's already been done. Solid waste disposal is all done. Dog officer's done. That leaves us with the health agencies, looks like. Those are all come in, so if you guys haven't had an opportunity to get those forms.
I haven't seen them yet.
Oh, I have. You're gonna need some no-dos for these, baby. Chuck's off in the audience over there, nodding up and down. It's horrible, isn't it?
They're extensive.
I think it's a little bit excessive.
It is.
There's very good information in there.
Yes.
Some cases, there's more
Black.
information than we need.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, well, anyway, glean what you may from it. Certainly there are some organizations that pretty much go without explanation, you know what they're about. And,
I think Davey's bringing them tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
He said he'd have them for everybody.
oh, is that right? Save a tree and don't bring me one. So anyway, that's coming up to be reviewed. And it's
Meals on
interesting.
Wheels is good.
So yeah, we did Meals on Wheels, it's the same.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec is the same, Espie hasn't asked for a change.
Library, we haven't done yet.
Haven't got to them.
Patriotic purposes,
I believe we kept that the same.
and Conservation Commission came in, we did that.
The Lake Coast program is accounted for on their budget.
Town Forester, we
So that, yeah, Forester, debt tin, all that's.
tan interest.
So that brought us down to the reserve funds that we were discussing tonight to have a follow-up with Claudia on aquatic plants. And that's it, we've gone through
All of this other stuff.
all of it as far as we can to this point,
Yeah.
which is great. All right, I will contact Mr. Fournier tomorrow and get the RFP moving. I'll try to reach out to Claudia with our concerns and try to stay ahead of this budget process. Chuck, anything for us, from us?
No.
Just an observer this evening? Dave said,
Yeah, Dave is with his mother in Portland or something.
He just wanted me to attend in case something came up that you might need us for.
Yeah, because he said he couldn't be here.
and again, to your concern, I think it was 450,000 would have been 10%. I don't seem to have my latest 535. I do have one here, but I think after the dust settled, we got a printout. So if 561,000, I would deduce it, we're probably still at that 10% level, it'd be 450. So depending on what you want, how comfortable you are, when we talk to Claudia tomorrow, it might be 50,000 under that, so you'd be operating at about 9% at that point.
Are there municipal association guidelines as?
Yeah, DRA actually,
Oh, yeah.
Department of Revenue Administration, I believe they come in at about 5% to 17. 5 basically is your minimum, at 17, they like to see you paying stuff down, either the tax rate or spend it on a municipal project. So, I mean, we're middle of the road, but as the concerns are, and maybe DRA may not really push the 17 anymore, some school payments get so big that it's, keeping more in that fund balance is not a bad thing. We're just faced with the situation that we need to resolve here infrastructure-wise, and is this the proper way to go about it? And I guess once all the numbers come in, that's where you guys at the budget committee will decide, what's the palette for taxation here? Is there spend down the 50 or raise it from taxation and stay at the 10%? Anything on your end, Sean?
No, I'm just looking at last year's stuff. Just gotta get hard numbers, that's all.
Yeah, well, I think we're just a little bit closer. Wasn't the most productive evening, but I think we,
It wasn't bad.
no. Here's the overview of where we are, and like I said, tells us where we need to go with the road issue, cutting back, and the bridges. And if I had looked, everything I couldn't find all night that I'm shuffling, it's right where you put it. I hate that. Yeah, well, I don't have anything else except to get to work tomorrow, so,
I'm done.
okay,
All right,
Good.
all right.
everyone good?
Yeah.
All right.
Usually
Motion
try-
to adjourn the work session.
I second it. I need a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.